Hello, hello, my tigers. That's Humpty Dumpty on the screen. Look at that egg head. It's a perfect egg shape. Look at that. Oh my goodness. The cheeks, the chin, just all the way around. All the way around. It's an egg. It's Humpty Dumpty. And that's one of his favorite topics, is to say Humpty Dumpty. Anyway, his video today is about the soul trap light trick. See that? NDE and all that stuff. He keeps it real simple for people because his audience is simple. He knows what the simpletons want. They want everything real simple answers where they can go, oh yeah, Matt knows. Yeah. Now, Matt talks about taking a podium and debating people on these topics, but he's been invited to my show to come on for years, to come on live for years. No response. Never a response, never a yes, I'm interested. No, I'm not interested. No, thanks. Nothing. That's the way he is. He's a truth dodger, just like many of these creatures are that run YouTube channels. He's a coward. He never has any guests on. Never any back and forth. No one challenges him at all. Now, if you challenge him a little bit in his comments, he'll just ban you. That's the way he works. But he says things that don't add up if you really do study NDEs. Things that don't add up at all. And I'm going to show you that.
Hey guys, it's Matt. This is the Peter Stuyvesant t-shirt featuring the magenta and the WTC. I haven't worn it in a while. I should start every video. This is not what this video is about, but I should start every video out with social.
In the first 10 seconds, a big He's famous for that. It sounds very feminine when he does it. Some people have said they thought Matt was gay. I don't think he's gay. I think he's a complete weirdo, though.
Social media has completely destroyed permanently and forever our culture. T-shirt featuring the magenta and the WTC. I haven't worn it in a while. I should start every video. This is not what this video is about, but I should start every video out with social media has completely destroyed permanently and forever our culture and ruined any semblance of what was considered humanity from the last century.
You should do more cat videos with them pissing on your floors and you saying, thank you very much, as they piss all over your floor. Your house must reek like worse than a litter box. It must be terrible in there.
I'll start every video with that. Social media is the destroyer, and there is no going back. Okay. We've all absorbed a lot of NDE, ADE videos, go into the light, don't go into the light, soul trap, recycling trick. I'm not going to mention any channel names. There is a certain channel that I've watched recently that led me or inspired me to make this video. I haven't talked about it in depth in over a year, and it's such an important topic. It needs to be discussed in detail.
Yeah, you can't mention any channel names, can you? Of course.
Start off by admitting I don't have all the answers, but I do believe the way some people talk about the AD, NDE, or after death, go into the light experience, it can be inherently dangerous to discuss it in a certain way, because one of my big beliefs is we get what we expect to get at death, at the moment of death. That's one of the NDE, or after death, go into the light experience. It can be inherently dangerous to discuss it in a certain way, because one of my big beliefs is we get what we expect to get. Inherently dangerous to discuss it in a certain way, because one of my big beliefs is we get what we expect to get at death, at the moment of death. That's one of the reasons the trick here is so carefully crafted by...
That's one of his big beliefs. He has beliefs. Well, there's quite a few atheists that have had NDEs that saw Jesus or Muhammad. There's Muslims that have seen Jesus instead of seeing Muhammad. There's some that see aliens. There's some that see angels. There are people that see angels, or what they would call angels, that don't believe in angels. You don't get what you believe at death. That's way too oversimplified, just like what you are. You are an oversimplified Humpty Dumpty. You want to make things as simple as possible. You're not focused on, is it true or not? You're focused on, let's make it real simple. Now, I'd rather have the truth, even if it's difficult to understand, even if it's sad, even if it's confusing, even if it's painful. No matter what, I prefer truth. I'm weird that way in your realm because most of you prefer what's simple. You want to make things simple. Well, there's some things you can't simplify. You can't build a 747 huge jet airplane with all the engines and everything, the electronics, with just a few pieces of fucking Lego. It isn't that simple. It has over 1 million pieces in it. You can't make everything simple here. And I know that's a physical thing, but you want to make this as simple. You're trying to make this so simple. How come people are surprised all the time with NDEs? They get what they expect, but they're surprised? How does that make sense? Well, the truth is it doesn't make sense, but it's a Humpty Dumpty way of handling things. Because he really doesn't care about the truth so long as he gets his donations and keeps his channel running and doesn't have to get a job at a liquor store or wherever that he's talked about, gas station, or there's not many jobs he could get at this point. So he's got to keep this shit going, and got to keep people donating. And what people want to hear is that it's simple, real simple. People crave what's simple because it's less effort, less energy, less energy, less thought. It's less work. If it's simple, what would you rather solve? If you don't like puzzles and somebody said, here's a puzzle, and it's for a child and it has 4 pieces. Well, obviously you're going to solve that. Unless you're a complete fucking moron. Immediately you're going to be able to fit these 4 different pieces together and go, done, solved. And you'll probably feel an ego boost and feel proud of yourself. A lot of these morons feel proud when they solve something simple. But what if I handed you a puzzle with 100,000 small, tiny pieces and no box or no picture to look at? No picture. You don't know what the fuck the puzzle is. You have to do it blindly. Fit 100,000 pieces together. You'd say, this is way too difficult. I'm not even going to try this. Most of you would. Most humans is what I mean. There's people on my channel that might try it or say, I'll give it a whirl. I'll give it a shot. Maybe. But most in this realm would say, that's way too difficult. I'm not doing that. That would take me so many hours, so much time, maybe even years. Maybe years to put that together, working at it. Think about it. Very difficult, high-level puzzle. I don't even know if there is a puzzle with 100,000 pieces. But you don't give them the picture, so they have no idea what it's supposed to look like in the end. Is it a landscape? What kind of scene is it? They just have these tiny little colored, tiny little puzzle pieces, which makes it even harder the smaller the pieces. You get less of a picture until you really fill something out together. Fit something and fill it out. Anyway, you can keep things as simple as you want. You can believe like Matt McKinley that you get what you believe. That if you believe in Jesus, you'll see Jesus. If you believe in a God, you'll see a God. He believes that if you believe in a trick, you'll get tricked. You'll get a trick. He's that simple. He thinks you get what you believe or you get what you want. That's how simple he is. Well, you know, this is a realm of deceptions. Movies, Matty. This whole realm's deception, endless deceptions. Lies, tricks, deceptions, evil. Why would it be different when you leave your body? It's going to be deceptions. You're not going to just get what you believe. That's too difficult for him, too much work. He wants to keep it simple and stupid.
For a year, and it's such an important topic. It needs to be discussed in detail. Start off by admitting I don't have all the answers, but I do believe the way some people talk about the AD, NDE, or after death, go into the light experience, it can be inherently dangerous to discuss it in a certain way because
It's such an important topic that you've bashed it for years. Now you're calling it important. And you've said we've already won. You've laughed at people that say there's deceptions in death. You've mocked and laughed for years. Years. Not just 1 year, years. I would say a good solid 4 or 5 years. I've seen you've been doing that. It's one of the reasons, it's not the only reason, but one of the reasons why I wanted to start channels was to push back against these douchebags, these agents, these shills, these liars, deceivers, grifters, making money this way. And it's just sickening. You've mocked the topic. You've been encouraged to come on live on my channel. You won't do it. If it's so important, why don't you come on and talk to me? He'll let on, oh, I could do that. You never have. You're a coward.
one of my big beliefs is we get what we expect to get at death, at the moment of death. That's one of the reasons the NDE or after death, NDE or after death, NDE or after death go into the light experience. It can be inherently dangerous to discuss it in a certain way, because one of my big beliefs is we get what we expect to get at death, at the moment of death. That's one of the reasons the trick here is so carefully crafted by what I call knot milk. It crafts.
What about all the out-of-body experiences and pre-birth experiences of people living in an afterlife, in an astral realm, where they have fucking shitty jobs, bosses, they have to pay taxes? It's kind of like this. Is that what they expected? Did they expect an afterlife like that? Possibly millions of spirits in huge cities where they're still being deceived. Is that what they fucking expected? What he's saying doesn't match the evidence in all the accounts that you can find in the realm. But he doesn't care about that. He has a belief that you get what you expect. Just a belief. A movie's Matty belief. You should be able to slice through these deceivers like the sharpest knife through hot butter, or hot knife through butter. It should be easy. Easy at this point. And a lot can't do it. Look at the black eyes and just the creepy overall look of this thing. It's a deceiver. And it shows you what it is.
Your belief set, it crafts what you expect your entire life, what we expect to get at death, at the moment of death. That's one of the reasons the trick here is so carefully crafted by what I call knot milk. It crafts your belief set, it crafts what you expect your entire life. And we are coming to the conclusion now that per se the reality concentric rings diagram, there is no world out there. We manifest everything outward. There is no objective world that exists without the creative force of the real spiritual being. Heart-centered, radiate out. Kabbalion, all is mind. First rule in everything, it starts with mind and consciousness. A big bang didn't come first.
Listen, mind is downstream from spirit. Mind is downstream from spirit. I have to pause this.
Consciousness came first. As usual, science has it completely backwards, as usual. So we all have a different take on that, but generally you wouldn't doubt the creative force of the real spiritual being. Heart-centered, radiate out. Kabbalion, all is mind. First rule in everything, it starts with mind and consciousness. A big bang didn't come first. Consciousness came first. As usual, science has it completely backwards, as usual. So we all have a different take on that, but generally you wouldn't probably be here at a channel like this if you didn't in some way agree that consciousness comes first. And it's highly likely, I mean, we don't have all the answers, so I'll talk about things in a certain way that this reality wouldn't even exist, or there's nothing out there without our beliefs making it so. That's, to me, why the not milk and this thing that's with us in this reality works so hard to shape us, to influence us, because it can't do it on its own. It can't just make a change to society and culture or to reality on its own. It fools us into believing this blurry image, this, we've talked about the cement that hasn't hardened, is normal. We believe it's normal, we accept it into reality, and then we project it outward. So if you are spending, let's start with a comment or an email that I got 6 months ago or so about somebody spending inordinate hours watching videos about people that had died or gone under the ice and were resuscitated, or NDE or AD, but they had been in hell. Let's just start with that. And this person is getting very concerned, and they shared this with me, that now this is inspiring them to become a Christian, because almost to play it safe, or I don't know exactly how they put it. Let's just go with the little bits and pieces that I remember. Almost turning to God, or say to Jesus, because they're so afraid that this is actually going to happen or manifest, because people are making videos. I've never watched any of these videos, but I've heard about them. I know they exist. I died, I went under the ice, or whatever it is. I was in the car wreck, and I experienced hell, the people say. And it was this and that, and then I came back. And so the testimonies are so detailed and so graphic. See, the person watching then starts to believe that this is true, or the person had a real experience and they actually went to hell. So the danger in all this is, you can hopefully see where I'm going with this. If they then start to believe it, and you get what you expect to get at the moment of death, then they're essentially, by watching these videos, they could be manifesting it on themselves. Or if they've done it a certain way, or they've become a Christian to avoid this horrible fate, then they've manifested another afterlife experience on themselves via their belief set. Okay, so if you watch videos about archonic beings, if you've watched hundreds and hundreds of videos about archonic beings that will be there waiting for you at the moment of death, then aren't you expecting that going into the moment of death? And therefore, it's almost following through the argument logically, based on all we know about how this reality works. Aren't you then manifesting it, creating it yourself? See what I'm saying?
So I think this is where Jeremy Finkelstein, sorry I'm having my breakfast while I'm making this video, breakfast brunch. I think this is where Finkelstein got his idea that you manifest, that you create what you get after death. And it's bad to watch King Stephen's channel. Well, I'm going to tell you something. When I popped out of my body as a child, I wasn't thinking of archons for years or watching archon YouTube videos. Decades and decades ago, when I was a kid, when I was 4 years old, 3 years old, YouTube didn't exist, obviously. Never saw archons on TV. I wasn't thinking about archons or dreaming about archons or aliens or entities. But when I popped out of body in my bedroom and was floating, in a sense, hovering, floating above my bed, they were right there watching me. And it happened many times, not just once. The same, and they looked the same. Now, movies, Matty would say, you were creating that. Your belief created that as a 3-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old. No, I don't think so. I think they are actually watching us, and this is what he dodges. One of the things. It's not the only thing. But also, people love to follow low IQers. So this guy studied and studied and studied to go to Penn State University. Right? But he's not intelligent. Now, a lot of you can't figure that out. You can't figure out college and university in the United States today and 20, 30 years ago, and in Canada, and probably in England as well, started to go downhill so bad, all you had to do was memorize your shit and then regurgitate. And that's what he did. That's what studying is. memorization, and then regurgitation on an exam. Doesn't make you smart. Doesn't make you a problem solver, a pattern seer. It doesn't mean that you can figure things out and have the ability to see complex patterns, do abstract thinking, problem solving, all these sorts of things. Not just on a test, but looking at reality and the afterlife and looking at hundreds of NDEs and seeing where's the patterns, what does this mean, where are the differences, and analyzing. I don't think he can do it. I don't think he's in my league. And some people will, obviously this is what people do on YouTube. They'll say you're a narcissist. You're saying you're smarter than him, that you see more than he does. You can follow whatever you want. You can go follow his channel. You can donate to him every week if you want to. Some people give him small donations on his PayPal every week. Some of them even told me years ago when I started my channel, they said they were donating to him weekly, every week. You can do whatever you want. But a lot of you humans want things, you crave simplicity. You want things to be as easy to figure out as making a boiled egg and maybe frying up some bacon, or even better, even easier, popping in some toast, making sure that the setting isn't on the darkest to burn it, and you're done. You pop it in and that's it. It's as simple as toasting some bread. You want it simple. You want to make everything simple. And some of you haven't had experiences, so you'll say, I don't believe in that because I didn't experience it. This realm is beyond just your personal experiences. A lot of you just don't get it. You'll just go into the bin and get recycled. It's set up to trick you and recycle you. And he doesn't want to say that. He doesn't want to tell you that. But you can follow him if you want to and pay him money. By no means am I stopping you. I don't want idiots and gullible fools around me. You want to part with your money and give it to him? Be a fool? Go give it to him. Go get it. Give it to him.
Any video that talks about archonic beings trying to get you back in a body or recycling soul trap, I'd be much more, I'd watch a lot more of those videos and I'd engage with it more if those that made those videos would keep on the table that, I don't know if they would say it's 50-50, or they would say there's a good chance these people are manifesting that on themselves. Do they bring that up? Do they even mention that? That again, we know how this reality works. All is mind. We know how the not know plays its trick and why it plays its trick, because we are the reality creators here in ways we don't understand. No need to get into how the double slit experiment, people, that triggers people. We're not going to get into all that. We generally agree that the Big Bang didn't come first. Consciousness did. I don't think there's anybody that would be at this channel that didn't believe in the basics like that. Science, the Big Bang, and then you came through Monkey Man. It makes me laugh every time. It always will. You came through Marmot. Anyway, okay. So there's something inherently dangerous with believing or knowing, based on all the videos you've watched, something is going to happen at death. Could it be the same with the going to the light, not going to the light? So I'm not saying that.
How many people have died in this earth? Potentially billions, over thousands of years, if that part of history is true. If this matrix has existed for thousands of, we'll call them matrix years or human years, it must be billions and billions and billions that have died. How many believed in archons they're going to be waiting for them? Hardly any in world history, right? Including today. You could go up to a normie and say, what's an archon? They'd say, what? What do you mean? They'd say, I don't know what that is. What are you talking about? You might as well speak a foreign language. You might as well speak Chinese to someone that has no idea. Most people aren't expecting to see archons or entities, and yet they do. They do see entities. I think that's interesting, including atheists that have no belief in an afterlife. They're shocked that an afterlife exists at all, much less entities there to greet them, meet them, talk to them, whatever, lure them. They don't believe in an afterlife, and yet there they are. So your theory falls apart. It doesn't hold water right off the bat. It's unfortunate in the first 7 minutes of his video of an hour and 24 that most people just can't see it. You just can't do it. But his theory falls apart. Because look how many atheists have NDEs. They don't expect an afterlife whatsoever. So they're not manifesting a heaven. They don't believe there's anything when they die. Yet some of them are seeing Jesus, Muhammad, all sorts of things. Gandhi in a diaper. I showed a video recently, Gandhi in a diaper. I was talking about it on a live stream, an atheist that saw all this stuff. And she felt guilty saying, how can this be? I don't believe in any of this. You don't get what you believe. But lazy creatures like him that don't do the actual work and want to simplify it, they want to say, you just get what you believe at death. It's real simple. No, it isn't, though. I'm telling you it isn't. And I'm telling you for a reason, because I'm trying to help you see the truth. I'm trying, but I know most beings in this realm are at the level of the guy on the screen with his eyes shut. And they're walking around with their eyes shut and blindfolds on. And that's what they do. They're really lazy. They won't do the work. They won't do the research. And they won't put in the thought. It's not just research. Thought is involved. This creature read a couple pages of the Kybalion. It says mind is everything. Mind is first. What about spirit? Mind is downstream from spirit. Mind, body, brain, experience. It's all downstream. Culture, race, it's all downstream from spirit. So he's leading you astray again. He's just going by a book. Someone else's book, the Kybalion. And this is what they do. They're lazy-minded, and their arguments are lazy. They don't stand up to my arguments. They don't stand up to my model. So think about it. Think it over. Take all the time you like. Think it over.
The people making these videos are generally are very good people, very nice with the going to the light, not going to the light. So I'm not saying that the people making these videos are generally are very good people, very nice people. It's just the purpose of my video here is to make sure that all potential points and positions are put up on the table and considered. And I don't think they are from many of these channels presenting these videos. We'll work into, as this video goes on, what I believe and more of my personal thoughts on the matter. But you have to present all sides. You have to, I'll throw some wild things out in this video that at first might seem shocking, like, Matt, that can't be the case. But then I think the old guard will come around and go, that might be possible. And at least we need to keep it on the table, need to consider it. Let me make sure this is recording. Let me start off this segment where we completely agree, or I agree with the channels that talk about the NDE, ADE, go into the light, don't go into the light, soul trap. Here's where we completely agree. Those that give this endless testimony via YouTube videos that they went under the ice, or they were killed temporarily or just for a few minutes before they were resuscitated in a car wreck, where we completely agree.
He's all about agreement. He's looking for agreement rather than looking for truth. He's an agreement seeker, not a truth seeker. Now, if you keep everything on the table, if you kept a million possibilities or a million theories on the table, where's the truth? Well, it's buried under the things that don't make sense and don't add up. Matt McKinley, why do atheists, why do atheists have an afterlife at all? They don't believe in one. They don't have a belief in an afterlife, a God, angels, Jesus, God, Muhammad, angels, whoever. They have no belief in entities or an afterlife. They're shocked. It isn't their belief coming true. They're shocked. They're shocked that they have a spirit. They're shocked that life goes on. They're shocked saying, I'm dead, but how can this be? There's my body. I'm dead, but here I am. They don't believe in anything except bodily death. And they think that's it. So it goes against their atheistic beliefs that there's an afterlife. So Matt, you're wrong. And you just don't like to admit you're wrong. You want to keep shit on the table that's wrong, that doesn't add up. that doesn't play out in reality. You're like Finkelstein and others. You're jealous of people that have things figured out. You're envious. And you're not honest. You're also not intellectually courageous. You're a coward because you won't have a conversation with me live on your channel or on mine. You can't do it. So your shit doesn't add up to scrutiny. And you can't handle critics like me. You can't do it. So people that want to put their trust and faith and belief in movies Matty, Matt McKinley, Humpty Dumpty, go for it. I think you're on the wrong track. I think you're going to get a surprise like he will.
Is those people are completely fooled. They are being fooled by reality. They're being fooled by the NDE, ADE, go into the light, don't go into the light, soul trap. Here's where we completely agree. Those that give this endless testimony via YouTube videos that they went under the ice, or they were killed temporarily or just for a few minutes before they were resuscitated in a car wreck, where we completely agree is those people are completely fooled. They are being fooled by reality. They're being fooled by the experience. They all say the same BS things. To me, they did not experience real death. They're not coming back talking or giving testimony on real death. You know what I'm going to say here because I've been talking about it a lot recently. How do I know they didn't experience real death? Because they're right back here sitting in front of me.
Here he goes. They didn't experience real death. So he's just saying that they're delusional, basically, which is a cop-out. It's easy to just say, well, they didn't experience real death. They were just out unconscious for a few minutes. Well, what about doctors? There's some doctors that have had NDEs. There's one that was hooked up to machines, and it showed his brain was dead. No activity. No heart, no brain activity. He was dead. So what is death then, Matty? How would you define death, movies, Matty? Can you define it? I would ask him in a conversation. I don't think he can define it. I'd say, how do you define death? And maybe he'd just say, well, you don't come back here again. Is that how you define it? So basically, he's dismissing millions. Keep this in mind. It's not just a few hundred or thousand. Millions of NDEs. He's saying they're all basically fake. None of them died.
See, if they're dead, they be dead. It's pretty simple to me. They did not experience real death. They believe they experienced real death. See, if they're dead, they be dead. It's pretty simple to me. You know what I'm going to say here because I've been talking about it a lot recently. How do I know they didn't experience real death? Because they're right back here sitting in front of me. See, if they're dead, they be dead. It's pretty simple to me. They did not experience real death. They believe they experienced real death. They're completely fooled because they all say the same types of things. Well, Matt, if they all say the same types of things, they all went through the real and actual death experience. No, it's total bullcrap. It's all one version or another of this. The light, unconditional love. They all say the feeling. The feeling of unconditional love was nothing that I've ever experienced before. Well, let me get this straight. How do you feel the love of others? Does anybody ever talked about that? Has anybody... I guess my parents, have loved me, but just say, I've never been in a relationship, or maybe there's been some girls that have loved me. Girls, that's my preference. I know that's wrong today, but maybe.
Is that your preference? Listen to this. I don't think he's felt love in his life. I don't think he knows what it is. Look at this, Humpty Dumpty. He's just a hermit. He's a Humpty Dumpty. And this is the spiritual leader of thousands of idiots on YouTube. They fall for this shit. How am I supposed to feel sorry for them when they've had years and I've worked my ass off to expose creatures like this and people are too lazy to watch the videos showing what they're doing? And his bloodline and everything. I've outlined all of it. And most people are just too lazy. So follow him. Get recycled.
Talked about that. Has anybody... I guess my parents, I guess, have loved me, but like just say, I guess, have loved me, but like just say, I've never been in a relationship, or maybe there's been some girls that have loved me. Girls, that's my preference. I know that's wrong today, but maybe there's been people that have loved me. But let's just say there was one or two, and or Belle, or Fifi Addy, they love me. Can I feel it? Oh, you particularly love me today. I can feel it. You can't feel it. You know through their actions, through the way they behave. You just made me a 3 cheese omelet with ham. You love me. That you through the way that you can't feel it. So Bernie Mac, you just got to feel it, Mr. Bank. How do you feel the love in wherever they go with the light? Oh, this incredible feeling of unconditional love.
He doesn't know how to feel love. Well, how did I feel tremendous peace when my mother passed away? I felt it. Somebody didn't come to me and show me or say it. I felt it. Look at this guy. He's just, I don't know what he is. I really don't know exactly what he is. But spiritually, he's very different from me. He argues against the ability to even feel love, this Humpty Dumpty. I'm surprised he didn't say, how could you feel it without a body? You got to feel it in your body. What about feeling it in your spirit? You can't feel a song in your spirit or love, peace? You don't feel anything? Are you just dead inside? Humpty Dumpty?
In wherever they go with the light. Oh, this incredible feeling of unconditional love. You see what I'm saying? How come more people don't bank? How do you feel bank? How do you feel the love of unconditional love? You see what I'm saying? How come more people don't? Or Belle, or Fifi Addy, they love me. Can I feel it? Oh, you particularly love me today. I can feel it. You can't feel it. You know through their actions, through the way they behave. You just made me a 3 cheese omelet with ham. You love me. That you through the way that you can't feel it. So
I can feel it. Just like when you fall in love with someone, you can feel it. It's not what they do for you. You can feel it. You can feel that they love you. And you can feel love for them. You have feelings for them. Falling in love. Now, some people I know would say, well, it's falling. It's like falling down. It's lower. And they'll just do all this word magic type stuff and get wrapped up in the words. What if we use the expression rising in love? Elevating in love? Ascending in love? New Agers love ascension. Then what would you do? How would you criticize it? Love can be felt. Okay. Love can be felt. Peace can be felt. Care can be felt. Tenderness can be felt. Nurturing can be felt. There's all sorts of things that can be felt. Beyond just the body. In the spirit. Beyond just they did this action that shows it. No, it's you can feel it. This creature here with the black eyes on the screen. I don't think this motherfucker can feel. I think he's just dead inside. I don't think this motherfucker can feel. Look at this thing. With a chair that's completely worn out. He's so fucking bizarre. And I don't know how people can't see it. His fake leather chair has been just rubbed, worn down. Look at that. Completely worn out. You could see better chairs out at the sidewalk thrown away in a ghetto fucking neighborhood than what he sits on. And he thinks he's doing his part, not, quote, trashing the planet by throwing this out and getting a new chair. He's that retarded. He's one of these ones that worships Mother Earth. He puts, quote, Mother Earth Gaia above people. He's one of those. And there's a lot like that in this realm. They worship this place. And they don't even know what the fuck this is. I call it a sewer matrix, which hints at it not being quite as real, but the sewer part is biological waste. So I think it's a mixture of a matrix deception, not a pure simulation, and bio, like a biological matrix, sewer matrix full of waste. I think the waste is real. I don't think this is just a fucking holodeck on Star Trek Starship Enterprise is what I meant to say. In Star Trek, they have holodecks in the Next Generation series from the 1990s, I think it was. I don't think that we're in that. I don't think this is a video game. I disagree with a lot of these creatures on YouTube that push this stupid shit. But you're free to believe them. You're free to risk your eternity or your freedom on following morons if you want to. If you want to follow lazy morons and say, well, Matt makes it simple, go line up with the others on his channel and follow him. I don't want lazy people around me. I'm done with the lazy-minded. I'm done with the low IQ, lazy-minded in this realm that would watch this and go, he's right, we don't feel anything. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. A smile from a stranger can make me feel something. They didn't hand me something or go make me a meal or give me a gift. They just made me feel. But hey, if you're a different type of species than I am, maybe you relate to this black-eyed creature on the screen. Maybe you relate to this. Take a good look at what's on the screen. Take a real good look at that. Maybe you're like that. I can't help you. Maybe you have an old worn out chair and you have black slits for eyes. Maybe that's you. I don't know.
So, Bernie Mac, you just got to feel it, Mr. Bank. How do you feel the love? Give me a 3 cheese omelet with ham. You love me. That you through the way that you can't feel it. So, Bernie Mac, you just got to feel it, Mr. Bank. How do you feel the love in wherever they go with the light? This incredible feeling of unconditional love. You see what I'm saying? How come more people don't talk about this? You can't.
How come people don't talk about this? Because love could be a frequency, or it could be mimicked with a frequency. Love could be real, but it could also be mimicked with a frequency. See, he doesn't delve into these possibilities. He just, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you feel love? I don't know how to feel love. And his voice goes into that screechy, Saved by the Bell screech character, falsetto. How do you do? How do you feel love? How do you feel love? Well, you feel it in your spirit. You can feel it out of body and in body. You can feel love. You can feel love from your pet. Come home, you may go on vacation, someone's looking after one of your pets for a weekend, a week, 2 weeks, and you come home and they're all over you, jumping all over, excited to see you. And you feel the love that they missed you and they love you. It's simple. And you love simple, but it's still too hard for this movie's Matty. Oh, how do you feel the love? How do you feel? Because it's an energy. It's an energy. It's an emotion, but it's an energy transfer. Back and forth. You love your pet loves you. Your dog's excited to see you. And they're going crazy all over you. It's not hard at all. I'm almost at a loss of words because this motherfucker doesn't know what that is. It's something you experience. It's not even something you have to study. It's just simple. It's really something that you directly experience. And it is a feeling. Just like, as I said, the overwhelming peace when my mom died. The whole hospital room was filled with that peace that came right out of my dream and right out of her passing away and visiting me in my dream, a visitation, and saying, goodbye, Stephen. And that peace bled out from the dream into the room and was almost beyond words. And now, did I see it? No. Did I have a meter on me that said there's this much peace? There's an 8.8 out of 10? No. I felt it. And it was unmistakable. But this motherfucker can't feel. He's completely dead. He's a black-eyed creature. Now, some of you might be like this. Some of you might turn into this in the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years, whatever time you have left here. Some of you might live into old age. You might turn into this. And I'm not saying to scare you, but some of you just follow evil. It's like you can't spot it. You can't say to yourself, wait a second, I'm on the wrong track here. And you just don't pay attention. And you'll follow this shit. And have at it. Go ahead. I've tried for many years to try to get people to see what this is and where it leads you. But I to really be blunt, I think most people are too dumb. Just too fucking dumb. Too fucking dumb, too lazy. And if they don't start off evil, they end up following evil. And they end up following creatures that will convince you that you can't feel love. How could you feel love, he's saying. You'd have to be a moron to be watching this guy at this point. And some of you are. Let's get real. Some of you that tune into my channel are still watching shit channels like his. And I'm not trying to pry you away at all anymore. I'm telling you, go away from me. Have at it. I'm not trying to tell you, stay watching my channel like Louise kept thinking I was doing. No, I'm telling you, go to their channels. Stay away from me. I don't want to be infected by you. Not that you could change my mind. I just don't want to deal with you because you're at this level, the guy on the screen. You're at the level of his followers. And he'll tell you, you can't feel love. How could you feel love? How could you, what do they mean by unconditional love and be feeling love? And he's not even saying they feel it without a body. They're out of body. He's just saying, how could they feel love? He can't even imagine that. And some of you, I'll repeat it, are at this fucking level. And you're more like him. Spiritually, your species is more like that. You're not like me. You don't feel, including passions, including being passionate about, let's say, artwork and music and some of the things that I'm really passionate about. Not because I'm in this realm. I'll be passionate about these things out there in eternity. It doesn't have to do with hell realm. It has to do with my spirit and what I'm passionate about. Anyway, I can't explain these things to robots or to beings that are just dead inside. And I think a lot of you are in this realm. I think a lot of you are what I call FUBAR, fucked up beyond all repair. I didn't create the term FUBAR, but it fits perfectly. Now, am I saying that to be negative or bring you down? No, I'm saying it because a lot of you will follow this. In a matter of 1 hour, he has 129 likes already. You gobble up this shit. You show me all the time. It's right on the screen. He has 731 views and 129 likes. You have no trouble, humans, hitting the like button on shit channels. You have no trouble of doing that. No trouble with doing that, sorry. It's easy for you to like this shit. I'm going to give it a thumbs down. It'll probably be the only thumbs down, not just right now, but if this video's up months from now, it'll still probably be the only thumbs down. And backstage in the studios, he can see how many thumbs down. You won't be able to see a total, but he will. It'll probably be 1 3 months from now, mine. Because most of you like shit. You're addicted to shit, and I mean humans. I don't mean my regulars. I mean most humans on this earth or in this matrix love shit. You can't get enough. You don't have to be coaxed to like his shit. You love it.
Can't feel love. Okay, and they all say the same. Talk about this. You can't feel love. 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 Or maybe there's been some girls that have loved me. Girls, that's my preference. I know that's wrong today, but talk about this. You can't feel love. Okay, and they all talk about this. You can't feel love. Okay, and they all say the same BS. Okay, I'm not going to harp on this. To me, they're all fooled. Okay, however, whatever the details are on that, I don't know if there's a whole reason to discuss it for 20 more minutes. They're all completely fooled. Meaning, what
is this your hero? They're all completely fooled. But he isn't. A guy that says you can't feel love, he's not fooled. Everyone on earth who's ever had an NDE, maybe he goes so far as to go by to say OBEs are fooled as well. Out-of-body experiencers. Maybe pre-birth memory people are fooled. We're all fooled. But the black-eyed guy, Humpty Dumpty, that can't feel love and says you can't feel love, he said that. He believes he has it figured out, that you just get what you believe. Whatever you believe, if you believe in the Wizard of Oz, that's your afterlife, according to Humpty Dumpty. If you believe you're going to hell, it's that simple, you go to hell. That's what he believes.
What does that mean exactly? That they did not experience real death? That is, whatever the details are on that. I don't know if there's a whole reason to discuss it for 20 more minutes. They're all completely fooled. Meaning, what does that mean exactly? That they did not experience real death? That is one thing that I keep on the table. Many of the channels that talk about Soul Trap and things like that would say, they are fooled, Matt. They're falling for the biggest trick of this reality. Those channels would say, that is the recycling trap. That's the trick to get you back into a body, to reincarnate, to not be where you're supposed to be.
He does that a lot. He'll say, they would say, but he doesn't have conversations with anyone. No back and forth conversation to see where it goes. He can't face that. He pretends he has courage, but he can't have a conversation with me. He can't do it. He can't do it.
For the biggest trick of this reality, those channels would say, that is the recycling trap. That's the trick to get you back into a body, to reincarnate, to not be where you're supposed to be, to come back to the material world. It would say, they are fooled, Matt, but that's the nasty trick of this reality. So, okay, I'm not, obviously I'm not quite there. We'll discuss it as this video goes on. But we do.
He says, we'll discuss it. No, it's just you. You're not having a discussion with anyone. It's just you. You don't have a back and forth. There's no pushback. It's just you pushing your views. You don't have a discussion. You don't have a discussion ever on your channel. It's always just you. Just Movies Matty. Now it's up to 136 likes. It was 129 earlier. This is what happens. They just roll in. People love supporting shit. They love it.
I agree at the base level. They are all fooled. That is not the real and final death. They all say the same things. And of course, even some of them have given...
No, they don't all say the same things. They present different versions of heaven. Some of them meet, quote, spirit guides. Sorry. Some meet spirit guides, they call them that. Others meet their deceased loved ones. They have different versions of heaven, different versions of hell. Things are told to them differently. It's not all the same. There are differences, but you don't look at the differences. You're a simpleton. You just say it's all the same. You want to keep it simple in your mind. Less energy, less work. Because you're a lazy slob.
Give away reality, at least the way I see it, as to what's potentially happening, relating back to you get what you expect to get, what you've been molded to expect death to be your entire life. And many of the NDE and AD testimonies, I guess I'll just say NDE.
So how about Jews that meet Jesus? Muslims that meet Jesus? Christians that meet Muhammad? Atheists that meet Jesus? They're not getting what they expect. They're getting something different. You haven't looked into enough NDEs and you're not honest enough. You just want to say they all get what they believe, what they expect. You're wrong. It's as simple as that. You're wrong. The NDE testimonies do not show what you're claiming.
I don't know what the difference is between AD and let's just go NDE. They will maybe give it away by saying, some of them say, I really expected to meet Jesus. And I did, or I really expected a certain loved one to be there waiting for me. Of all my loved ones, again, I haven't watched, over 10 years. I have watched a lot of these videos on and off. I have, but I'm not.
So he hasn't watched many, but he says they all say the same thing. It's lazy, like Jeremy. They'll watch a few NDEs and think they have it figured out. They're not watching 500, 600 to get a real view and pattern. Where a lot of them get what they don't expect. They're surprised. They're shocked. So you're way off track. Way off track. And you're misleading your audience, which of course he doesn't care about. Neither do most of his audience because they're not truth seekers. They're just followers of this Humpty Dumpty.
Quoting anyone exactly, just paraphrasing and remembering bits and pieces. Of all the loved ones, I remember this certain relative would be there for me. That's the one, and that's just paraphrasing and remembering bits and pieces. Of all the loved ones, I remember this waiting for me. Of all my loved ones, again, I haven't watched, well, over 10 years I have watched a lot of these videos on and off. I have, but I'm not quoting anyone exactly, just paraphrasing and remembering bits and pieces. Of all the loved ones, I remember this certain relative would be there for me. That's the one, and that's the one that appeared. Well, wait a second. If that's the one that appeared, you created that. You manifested that. I believe that is likely. Okay, I don't know. I don't want to just say a possibility. It's likely. Therefore, it's potentially inherently dangerous to watch years and years of videos about the danger of the light trap, the danger that it's a recycling trick, the danger there are archonic beings posing as relatives, etc., that are going to be there. So you watch years. It's pretty simple. You watch years and years of videos.
We're trying to get out of here. I don't think Matt is. I think Matt just believes that he'll just get what he expects. He's a simpleton. That's what he is. And he's very lazy. And it shows. He's also a coward. He won't face me. Ever.